Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. One Race Wonders is heading over to Argentina for episode 54. For those of you not in the know, where the hell have you been? One Race Wonders is a series where we look at all the Formula 1 drivers who took part in a single Formula 1 Grand Prix. They have to have started the race, but finishing is often optional. We have looked at some of the all-time great One Race Wonders, like Dieter Quester, Roland Ratzenberger and Chris Kraft. We have even looked at some of the teams and manufacturers who have taken part in a sole F1 race, like Bugatti and Conu. As I mentioned at the start of this video, we are looking at an Argentinian driver from the 1960s in this episode. Nasif Estefano is one of many Argentine One Race Wonders from the 1950s and 60s. We've even looked at a few of the others, and we will get to them all in the future. For now, let's look at the life and career of Nasif Estefano. Subscribe right now, and let's jump into the video. Nasif Estefano was born in Concepcion, Argentina in 1932. He was of Lebanese descent and was the son of a store owner. After dropping out of school, he would work as a delivery driver for the family business. He would start his racing in local single-seater races with his own team made up of his older brother and a few friends. By 1955, he was winning local races and moved up to the big leagues of national Argentine motor racing. He brought a Chevrolet single-seater to race in the National Argentine Formula 1 Championship, the F1 Mecánica Argentina, previously won by Argentine legends like Juan Manuel Fangio and Jose Froilan Gonzalez, as well as the famous Argentina-based touring car series Turismo Carretera in a Ford V8. He found success in both series but wouldn't win either championship till later in his career. His performances in a single-seater in Argentina earned him the attention of Argentina's Automobile Club, and through them he was put forward for a drive in Formula 1 at the 1960 Argentina Grand Prix. He was given a Maserati 250F, one of several in the field, but this was one of the last appearances for the once great car. The Maserati 250F had been successful in the hands of Sterling Moss and Juan Manuel Fangio between 1954 and 1957, but the front-engined car was left behind by the rest of the field in 1958, and by 1960 it was a museum piece. And now it's a museum piece worth several £1 million. This was to be Nasif Estefano's only Formula 1 race. The 1960 Argentine Grand Prix was hot, very hot. Several drivers retired due to not being able to physically withstand the heat, and buckets of water were thrown over the drivers as they passed, which we covered when we looked at this race back in the Antonio Creos video. Nasif Estefano qualified 20th amongst the rest of the Maserati 250Fs, but managed to finish the race, albeit 10 laps down. Still something to be celebrated. He got through a physically tough race in an aging car in his first and only Formula 1 race. But Nasif Estefano's Formula 1 story was not done here, and only gets more interesting. After his first taste of Grand Prix racing, Estefano headed to Europe and was recommended by Juan Manuel Fangio to car builder Alejandro de Tomaso. Estefano raced for de Tomaso in the Formula Junior Series in 1961 and decided to stick with the Argentinian Italian for a Formula 1 effort in 1962. Nasif Estefano paid de Tomaso around $7,000 to race in Formula 1, a lot of money in 1962. However, when Nasif turned up to race with de Tomaso, it turned out to not be ready yet. In fact, he had to wait until September, the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Whilst Jim Clark qualified on pole with a time of 1 minute and 40 seconds, Nasif Estefano meanwhile failed to qualify with a time 4.5 minutes slower. Needless to say, the de Tomaso project did not really work out. The car turned up for a non-championship race in Rome in 1963, but it was slow and broke down not long into the race. Defeated, Estefano returned home to Argentina, minus the money he had paid de Tomaso, and with very little to show for it. Despite not providing the car Estefano had paid for, de Tomaso never gave him back the money. Back in Argentina, he won the 1963 and 1964 National F1 Championship, and followed it up with back-to-back championships in Argentinian Formula 3. He also raced in Europe in sports cars, and pulled off a few impressive results in a Porsche around the same time. In 1972, he returned to the TC Series and was very competitive, only just losing out on the championship before winning it in 1973. Sadly, he won the title posthumously as he was killed towards the end of the season during the Gran Premio de la Recreación Nacional, a very long touring car endurance race. Nasif Estefano was leading into the second leg of the race when he made a mistake, rolled his Ford Falcon, and was killed after his safety belt failed. A Formula One one-race wonder, but a legend of the sport in his native Argentina. So Formula One definitely didn't work out for Nasif Estefano. A run in an old Maserati in his home Grand Prix and a mess of an entry with De Tomaso that never got off the ground was all he managed. But in his home country he was a dominant force from the mid-60s to the early 70s. 2 national Formula One championships, 2 Formula 3 championships and the National Touring Car Championship. And surely more had he survived his crash in 1973, if something as simple as a safety belt hadn't have broken. If he had survived, then continued success in Argentina, along with a breakthrough in Europe in sports car racing, wasn't out of the question. Who knows, maybe he'd got another chance in Formula 1. As it is, he died a one-race wonder, one of many. So check out the whole playlist, all 54 episodes. Make sure you subscribe for more motorsport videos. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.